Hello everyone, welcome to free crash course for competitive exams held by Virat Hindustan Sangam in association with Manifest IAS Bengaluru. This program is inspired by Dr. Subramaniam Swamy and it is convened by Sri Ravi Shankar sir, State Education Convener for VHS Karnataka branch and also President of Good Neighbors India NGO. You can watch this program online on the YouTube channel of Virat Hindustan Sangam, also on the YouTube channel of Udaya News Karnataka. So on these two channels, this program is being telecasted. So for any further queries, mentoring, any doubts, you can join VHS Education Forum Telegram channel. There is a Telegram channel where you can join and ask your doubts. So I am the chief mentor of your program. We are done with polity and history and we are negotiating the economy. Another 2-3 days, economy will be done. And the chief source for your economy is Sriram Srirangam. Sriram Srirangam is the source for your Indian economy. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing the infrastructure section. Infrastructure. So green bonds. So green bond. What is green bonds? So these are financial instruments. Financial instrument where these bonds are issued to get the money for the green projects. That may be solar energy project, wind energy project, or any other things. So that is the concept of green bond. Even your rain harvesting, any green projects, this green bond is used. So clean energy projects, investment is got by the green bonds. So 2015, from 2015, these green bonds norms, that is conditions, are given by the SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India, gives the conditions what should be the norms for the green bonds. So there are green bond principles. So what are these principles? These are voluntary guidelines. That is the person or the industry or the organization which is implementing the project, they have to comply with certain conditions. Those conditions are called green bond principles. So apart from the voluntary guidelines, they also have to disclose how much energy is being generated, what is the output, what is the capacity, voltage, everything they have to disclose with respect to get themselves certified as the green project. That is so in order to have a green bond certification, they should disclose what are the conditions of the project. That is the disclosure norms. Next you have private public partnerships. What are the different types of private public partnerships? So this private public partnership, it is considered as a special purpose vehicle. What is special purpose vehicle? So it is for some special purpose. That is, for example, if you have one body to look after the water supply, another body to look after the sewage, electricity. So these bodies are called as, likewise you can set up the special purpose vehicle as an organization for any project. Even for building the renewable projects, you can set up the special purpose vehicle. So in this special purpose vehicle, in the private public partnership, what is the benefit of setting up a special purpose vehicle for building the project under PPP? So one is, it will enhance investment from multiple investors. So if there is just PPP, what happens? There will be one investor and one government will be there. They are going to conduct the contract and going to execute the project. Whereas in a special purpose vehicle, since these projects requires lot of investment, what will they do? They are going to have multiple investors who are going to invest in the public-private partnership. Multiple investors is the first benefit. Next, shared risk, responsibility, risk, everything would be shared among all the partners. So 100 investors are there. All of them will share the risk and responsibilities, even capital, everything, profit, everything will be shared. And there will be a dedicated finance. So you can consider this like this. Like if dedicated finance means, so whatever the money that is going to come to the special purpose vehicle, it will be for some special dedicated purpose. It cannot be used for any other purpose. That is the dedicated finance. And one more thing is there is assured finance. That is since there are multiple investors, there is assured guaranteed finance available for the public private partnership under special purpose vehicle. Then you have PPP in social sector. So this is for example building of affordable houses. So I'll discuss under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. There are 8 models of public private partnership where the private entity is going to partner with the government to construct the affordable houses, right? So affordable houses, or it may be health sector, or it may be education sector, or it may be building social infrastructure, right? So in all these areas, the PPP is held in the social sector. Social sector means I have already defined what is social sector. Next you have healthcare. In healthcare, there is public private partnership. So why there is a need for public private partnership in healthcare? Because in healthcare in India is concentrated in the private sector. So if you take the urban area, if you take the example of Bengaluru itself, there is lot of private hospitals but very less public or government hospitals, and the quality of care is also good at private hospitals, and also the expertise, good doctors, lab technicians, right? Operation theaters, everything will be good at the private hospitals, but it is expensive too. So that is why, so government has to partner with the private sector in order to give good health care services. So this is with respect to, see, when it comes to health care, there are 3 levels. One is primary health care. This is the primary level. Primary level. Then there is secondary level. At the secondary level you have community health care, and tertiary level you have district hospitals. District hospitals, and also your hospitals at the state cities, state capitals. So these are tertiary hospitals. So these have very good facilities. Tertiary hospitals have very good facilities with respect to scanning, with respect to MRI, all these facilities, high-end operation, everything will be available at tertiary hospitals. This is a primary hospital, very minimal facility. Community healthcare, a medium level of facility will be there, right? If it is not possible, if the disease is not treatable at PHC, it will be referred to CHC or the tertiary hospital. So this is the level. So PPP in healthcare, it is actually at the secondary and tertiary care. It is trying to be implemented in the secondary and tertiary care level in the districts. So National Health Policy 2017 says that in urban areas there is a requirement for public-private partnership. Why in urban areas? I told you there is lot of private hospitals in the urban areas. So government can partner with the private hospitals in urban areas, which is given by the National Health Policy 2017. Which ministry releases the National Health Policy? It is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, right? So this with respect to the public-private partnership, private hospitals is providing care in the non-communicable diseases. So in budget 2020, there was a proposal of linking the private sector as a private hospital with district hospital in back-end services. What do you mean by back-end services? It may be ambulance service. It may be your blood banks, right? It may be lab facilities. All these things, this private sector, or it may be the usage of the beds. So in all these sectors, the private hospitals can utilize the facility of the government hospital. There will be a partnership between private hospital and district hospital at the district level. So for in which area with respect to NCD? NCD means non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable means what? Which is not communicable to one person to another person. For example, your heart disease, kidney disease, all these things cannot be transferred from one person to another. So in these area, private hospital and district hospital is partnering. These cancer, heart and respiratory illnesses, all these are non-communicable diseases. So back-end services shared, I have already discussed. There is a proposal under budget 2020. Then you have Ayushman Bharat. Ayushman Bharat is also a proposal for public-private partnership. How? See, under Ayushman Bharat, there are two dimensions. One is health and wellness center, The other is 5 lakh insurance. See, under this, what happens? The private hospitals will be empaneled. Empaneled by the empaneling means what? They get registered with the government. So, a person is having Ayushman Bharat card. So, what he can do? He can go to the private hospital, show the card, and avail treatment up to 5 lakh rupees. He need not pay a single rupee, right? Ayushman Bharat is also called as what? Jan Arogya Yojana. Jan Arogya Yojana. So, they can avail the benefits of up to 5 lakh rupees, right? So, here these private hospitals are being linked or empaneled by the public hospitals, right? So, that is the public-private partnership under Ayushman Bharat. Next, you have reasons for PPP. Why health sector requires public-private partnership? I have discussed in brief already. Because of the good expertise, good facility, and also good lab facility, good beds, and all these things good. They are profit-oriented. Because of all those things, there is high number of private hospitals for which government has to have partnership with them. Then what is the criticism of the public-private partnership in health sector? Well, the first criticism is private sector is profit-oriented, whereas this health should be a public service. It should not be profit-oriented. Second is there is lot of corruption under Ayushman Bharat. These hospitals, private hospitals, are billing excessively and sending and taking government money. That is there. Then during the COVID pandemic, what happened? All these private hospitals turned away from the providing service to the public. So that is also there. All these are the criticism with respect to public-private partnership in healthcare, right? Next, you have public-private partnership in skill development. So you have under skill development, you have Skill India Mission, under this mission, 1 crore 50 lakh youth are trained. 1 crore 50 lakh youth are upskilled, right? And out of which 50% have been given employment. 1 crore out of which 50% have been given employment. So this also has this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana with respect to skill development. So you have which ministry implements this? So it will be asked, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship implements this scheme, right? Entrepreneurship. So Skill India Mission. So you apart from that, you have this is at both rural and urban level. What about the rural level exclusively? At the rural level exclusively, you have Gramin Kaushal Vikas Yojana. This is actually implemented by which ministry? It is not by Ministry of Skill Development. It will be asked in your preliminary examination. It is by Ministry of Rural Development. Right? This is the difference. Apart from that, you have Skills Prime is there. That is for the IT sector. There are various skilling initiatives. Is there. So this is about the skill development. Here also skill development, there is partnership between the private and public sector. So they have set up ITIs, lot of ITI, Industrial Training Institutes. They have been set up at all the levels by partnering with the private sector. So here you have, when it comes to skill development, you have what? This concept of CSR. What is CSR? It will be asked in your exam. Corporate social responsibility. What is corporate social responsibility? Under this, so which act gives this? It is given by Companies Act 2003. Companies Act 2003 gives this, right? So, 2013. Companies Act 2013 gives it. Under which, what is the provision? 2% of the profit has to be if a company makes 100% profit, 2% profit has to be set aside for social causes, that is corporate social responsibility under your this thing. There was one fund, right? PM Cares. PM Cares during COVID. Who is the head of it? Chairman? It is Prime Minister. Under which, what? Corporate social responsibility can be done for PM Cares also directly, right? So this will be asked in your exam, PM Cares, right? So CSR funds are eligible for PM Cares. So that is there. So under this corporate social responsibility can be used for upskilling, increasing the skills of the population. Next you have PPP in Digital India. See, this Digital India mission is very, very important. Launched in 2014-15. What is it about? It has 9 provisions. 9 provisions. One is, so first is broadband highways. Broadband highways. Second is electronic infrastructure. IT jobs. IT jobs is there. Then government service, electronic service, grievance redressal, everything is there. There are 9 sectors under Digital India Mission. Digital India Mission, 9 sector is there. So, in Digital India Mission also there is public-private partnership in order to set up digital infrastructure. What is digital infrastructure? You have this towers, you have optical fiber network. What is optical fiber network? It is not a copper wire. It will be laid in the ground. So, in front of the building, few days back, there was digging. So, why? Because laying the optical fiber network. So, under this, you have BharatNet project. What is BharatNet project? Under this, the government has proposed to connect 250,000 villages with optical fiber network. So 250,000 villages, we will provide the internet facility. Under BharatNet project, it is under Digital India Mission. So they are going to have partnership with respect to digital infrastructure. So it focuses on universal digital literacy. If there is a public-private partnership in Digital India, it focuses on universal. So what is universal digital literacy? It is every person, including rich, poor, upper caste, lower caste, women, men, everybody should have digital literacy. That is why, they should know how to operate a digital device. So in India, there is a concept of digital divide. What is digital divide? There is few section of the population who are good in digital knowledge. That is operating mobile phone, carrying out financial transactions on the mobile, accessing to social media, all these things. Whereas there is, on the other hand, there is significant section of population who are not well aware of the digital communication. So they are actually digitally illiterate. So this divide between these people who know about digital and those who don't know, it is called digital divide. So in order to curb the digital divide, we have PPP. Next you have government securities. So under this, government is going to issue securities. Securities means, so they will issue bonds and take the money, and in that money they are going to invest in the Digital India Mission, right? So BharatNet project, it was started in 2011. Funded by Universal Service Obligation Fund. What is Universal Service Obligation Fund? So you have your telecom companies, Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Jio, all these companies. What they do? They are going to levy Universal Service Levy. So when they auction for spectrum, what is spectrum? Where the mobile waves travel in the air, that is spectrum, right? So we have various spectrums, 5G, 4G, 2G, 3G, all these spectrums are there. So what they do when they auction for the spectrum, at that time, Universal Service Levy would be levied on them. Also, it will be, how do they collect it? They will levy this tax on the telecom companies will pay to the government, this levy. And how do they recover it? They are going to put the levy on us, urban residents. What is this universal service levy? See, you have in the urban area, let's say this is urban area, this is rural area. In the urban area, there is too much connectivity, phone connectivity. Whereas rural areas, there is very less connectivity. In order to increase the connectivity in the rural areas, a tax would be imposed on urban mobile holders. That is universal service levy. So this is universal service obligation. It is being levied to collect money for the BharatNet project. Then you have PPP in Swachh Bharat. So Swachh Bharat, now we have Swachh Bharat 2.0. For Swachh Bharat 1 ended on 2nd October 2019 under Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birthday, right? So Prime Minister, respected Prime Minister declared that on this particular day there was 100% toilets. So India was declared to be open defecation free. Open defecation free. India is, so there is everybody is using toilet. That is what the government declared, but the on-ground report says otherwise. There is still not so much usage. So you have ODF is there. ODF is what? ODF means there is no open defecation. You know what is open defecation, right? Passing urine motion in the public, right? In the agricultural fields or on the roads, that is open defecation. So it is said as India is open defecation free on this day. You have ODF plus. It will be asked in your exam, what is ODF plus? Under ODF plus, the government is going to ensure there is proper water supply. Proper water supply, proper sewage connection. And apart from this, proper maintenance. See, building a toilet is not a big thing. You have to maintain it. There should be water supply. There should be proper sewage. That is ODF plus. Then you have ODF plus plus. What is ODF plus plus? It deals with the recycling. Recycling, that is, this wastewater goes now out of the sewage. That would be recycled. That would be treated. Water treatment. Wastewater would be treated, and out of which biogas would be generated, manure, agricultural manure would be generated, and the rest of the water would be left for the agricultural fields. So this is ODF plus plus. So now we have Swachh Bharat 1.0 is done. Now we are in Swachh Bharat 2.0, right? So India, so 12 million toilets were constructed under Swachh Bharat. Here also we have public-private partnership. Next, so you have Swachh Bharat. There are two missions. One is Swachh Bharat Urban, and the second one is Swachh Bharat Rural. Which is the ministry for Swachh Bharat Urban? It is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Swachh Bharat Urban, it is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Whereas Swachh Bharat Rural, the ministry is Ministry of Water and Sanitation. Jal Shakti Ministry. Ministry of Water and Sanitation takes care of the rural. So here also there was provision for corporate social responsibility. Corporates can give the money for this Swachh Bharat. So under which waste to energy products were constructed, projects were built. So here you have the defecation, whatever the defecation comes, that would be put in the soak pits, right? So there you will be generating biogas, and also you have, for example, the leaves, waste organic agriculture, this cooking waste, everything. From that also biogas can be generated, right? So that this project focused on waste to energy. Next you have PPP in affordable housing, housing for all. So earlier it was called Indira Gandhi Awas Yojana. Now it is housing for all. So the goal is 2022. By 2022, government aims to build 2 crore houses. See, there is a shortage of 1.96 crore houses in India. This is the shortage, right? So under this, that is PM Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or Housing for All 2022, government aims to build 2 crore houses. 2 crore Pakka houses. You know, right? What is Pakka house? What is Kacha house? Kacha house, there is no proper roof. Right? It will be built by the dried grass or something. Kacha, Pakka house, there will be proper roof. That is the meaning. Right? So, housing for all. So, under this we have, this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, it gives benefit for 2 sections. One is low income group, 3 sections actually. Second is middle income group. Third is EWS, economically weaker section. These 3 sections avail the benefits for under this. Next you have, under this you have credit linked subsidy scheme. This is very important. What is this? See, the government is going to give the credit, sala, to the person who want to build a house. Right? In turn, if he repays the money properly, there will be subsidy on the interest rate. So under this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, there is credit linked subsidy scheme. Then also there is infrastructure status. Affordable housing is given infrastructure status. What is infrastructure status? Suppose some sector, any sector is given infrastructure status, what will happen? They will get easy money. That particular sector will get money at the very low interest rate, and also the repayment time is also very long. So that is and also there will be tax incentives, right? So there is a infrastructure status for housing. Then also this enables cheaper source of funding. More time will be given, and also tax and subsidy incentives will be given under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for getting the infrastructure status for the affordable housing. Then they can, if the infrastructure status is there, they can take more external commercial borrowing, that is money from outside. That is the benefit of the infrastructure status. Then what is the minimum requirement under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana? So there should be a carpet area. Carpet area means under which property is built. The area in which the property is built, it should be 30 square meter in urban area and 60 square meter in rural area. This is the condition. Then they should be registered under RERA. Whoever, for example, private entities want to build under this, so they should be registered under RERA, Real Estate Regulating Authority. Then you have refinancing. That is, these agencies, if they want money, banks will refinance them. This is one of the provisions. What are the challenges for affordable housing or PPP in affordable housing? One is there is no land. Then there is lot of slums, right? And these affordable housing projects will be constructed outside the city, where there will be difficulty for travel, and also banks are not willing to give loan. Private entities are not interested because it is not profit making. All of these are the challenges under PPP in affordable housing. Then PPP policy. So there is for affordable housing, there is a policy. What is that policy? If you are going to build a affordable house, government will give you straight away 2.5 lakh per house. 2.5 lakh rupees will be given per house in order to build a affordable house under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So there are 8 models based on public or private land owning. See, there are 6+2 models, also called 6+2 models. What are the models? Not important, right? See, in the 6 models, actually in the first 6 models, it is the public sector, that is government is going to give the land and private sector will build the house and give the house. In the next 2 models, private sector is going to arrange the land. This is 6+2 model. 8 models where the land will, based on land mobilization and also risk sharing. Who is going to share the risk among the government and the private entity? On that also the models are decided, right? This is all about the public-private partnership in affordable housing. Next you have concerns regarding PPP. One is If public-private partnership is implemented in the social sector, I gave you the example of hospitals, health sector. Since it is not profit-making, private sector will not come. Even if they come, they will indulge in corruption. They are going to maximize the profit, because of which it is not good. PPP model in social sector is not advisable. Which is the committee when it comes to PPP? It is Kelker Committee, right? So solutions. What is the solution for this, for social sector challenges? There is one more model called PPPP, that is public, private, and also you have citizen. So you have two publics. One public is government, one more public is citizen. So you involve the citizens in the public-private partnership projects. You involve the citizens. What the citizens will do? They will monitor the project, how the project is being carried out. So even if social sector also you are implementing a project, let us conduct social audit. What is social audit? These civil society organizations or intellectuals, they come together and conduct an audit whether the government money which is spent on a project, whether it is utilized efficiently. That is social audit. Under this PPPP, we can use social audit in order to measure whether a project is efficient, right? This is the concept with respect to social PPP in social sector. Next, you have Kelker Committee. So this was appointed in 2015. It gives the report in 2015. What are the recommendations given by Kelker Committee? It says revisit the PPP. That is, there should be a lot of changes in the PPP. What are the changes? It is our advice. So instead of making profit, instead of taking the project based on profitability or economic viability, you take the project on service delivery. That is, there should be service given to the public. That should be the sole focus of the project. That is the first thing. Next, fiscal reporting. That is, there should be proper monitoring. That is, if a project is conducted, it should be fiscally viable. Means there should be no losses. It should bring some benefits. That is fiscal reporting. There should be proper reporting, monitoring and evaluation. Somebody should monitor. Next, you have check viability. Before starting the project, you check whether it is viable. What is viable? Whether it is good to do the project, whether it is going to give any benefit, right? Is it really worthy to conduct the project? So you should check the viability. Then no small project. It says that PPP should not be conducted in small projects. Why? Because the investment is very less in small projects. Government itself can carry out the projects, right? So there is no need for PPP in small projects. These are the recommendations. Then it also speaks about risk allocation. There should be proper risk allocation between whom? Private sector and government. That is what it speaks. And there should be proper management. Management from the government as well as the private sector. That is what the committee speaks. Then it says you should strengthen the policy. We do not have any model PPP agreement, right? So we should have, there should be proper policy by the government where it is clearly defined. What is the role of the government? What is the role of the private sector? What is the role of the citizens? There should be proper policy. Then there should be governance. Governance should be good. Means what? There should be less corruption. There should be hierarchy, proper hierarchy. There should be effective control of the project. There should be frequent checks. Right? All these things, monitoring should be there. We'll deal with the governance. Next, you have strengthen institutional capacity. There should be proper institutions to look after the PPP. So what are the institutions? There should be one review committee. If a project is given under PPP, there should be a committee which is going to check frequently whether PPP, the project is going on properly or whether it should be stopped. There should be a review committee. There should be a tribunal. Suppose between the government and the private sector, some issue happens, they fight. There should be a tribunal which is going to settle the claims. That is one thing. Next you have strengthening the contracts. That is the contract made between the government and the private sector, it should be strengthened. Right? There should be proper agreement, written agreement. So here they speak about the bargaining power. So the bargaining power of the government is high because it is the fund giver. It allocates the land. It is going to give all the clearances. So they say there should be distribution of bargaining power between even the private sector should also be given effective bargaining power in order to make profit out of the project. That is what the strengthening of the contracts between the two entities means about. Next you have national infrastructure pipeline. This is very important. So now we have Gati Shakti. So the recent budget, the Nirmala Sitharaman ji has said about the Gati Shakti. Also before that also Prime Minister focused on Gati Shakti. Gati Shakti means strengthening the infrastructure. What does the Gati Shakti speak about? It speaks about 7 sectors. Gati Shakti speaks about 7 sectors. So what is the 7 sectors? One is roadways, railways, waterways, ports, airports, digital infrastructure, so these are the areas which and also you have waterways is there, ports is there, airport, digital infrastructure. There is one more sector is totally there are 7 sectors which the Gati Shakti speaks about. PM Gati Shakti, right? We have to strengthen the infrastructure. And there is National Infrastructure Pipeline 2019 to 2025. What is pipeline? See, under this pipeline, it is a fund. It is a fund dedicated for improving the infrastructure, right? So why do we need a national infrastructure pipeline? Because we are aiming for a $5 trillion economy by 2025. So if that is the case, there has to be proper infrastructure. So I told you there is requirement of 1.46 lakh crore, or sorry, 43 lakh crore. 43 lakh crore worth of investment and infrastructure is needed. So in order to have a $5 trillion goal, we have to have this much of investment in infrastructure. So in 2019, this government says we are going to invest 100 lakh crore with respect to infrastructure. 100 lakh crore is the goal of the under this national infrastructure pipeline. 100 lakh crore will be invested in the infrastructure. So there is a share, 100 lakh crore, it will be shared among the entities. What is the share? 39% will be central government, 40% will be state government, 21% will come from the sponsors, that is private entity. Private entity will bear the 21%, right? So this is the share under national infrastructure pipeline, right? Next you have special economic zones. Next concept is special economic zone. So the first special economic zone in the entire Asia was built in Kandla port in Gujarat. That is an export processing zone. 1965. Even when China was under the communist rule, Mao Zedong's rule, there was first export processing zone in 1965. Today in India we have 225 special economic zones. So first, what is this special economic zone? See, we have India here. So under this we have what? This is called domestic trade area. Whatever the trade that takes place, this is called domestic trade area, right? So, inside this, there will be pockets of areas called special economic zones. What is these pockets? These pockets will be treated as foreign territories. In these territories, there will be no taxation or very less taxation. Rules will not be stringent. There will be good infrastructure, right? And all the products will be exported. There will be very less export duty. And labor laws are not very strict. See why labor laws are important? Because if labor laws are strict, the companies will not start the industries. Because there will be a rule that you cannot fire the employees. So it is actually disadvantageous to the company. So labor laws are not strict. That is one thing. Then you have, apart from this, you have good infrastructure. All the facilities will be available in the special economic zones. So in India, special economic zones were built since 1965. But we gave it a statutory status, legal status in the Special Economic Zone Act 2005. Special Economic Zone Act 2005. And also, this act is very important. And Special Economic Zone Rules 2006. Based on this act, these rules were formulated by the government. So, what are the types of special economic zones in India? First, you have multi-sector. Multi-sector means it might be electronic, it might be merchandise goods, it might be apparel goods, textiles, right? It might be footwear. So, multi-sectoral special economic zones. So, the criteria is it should be 1000 hectare land. There should be minimum 1000 hectare land is the criteria. Then sector specific, that might be food specific, automobile specific, electronic specific, that is 100 hectares. The minimum land is 100 hectares. Then you have free trade warehousing zone. So this is a free trade, that is there is no taxation, there will be free trade. So for that the minimum area is 40 hectares. 40 hectares is the minimum area. Then you have IT, ITES, gems and handicrafts. Many other small sectors. So for that minimum, the area is 10 hectares. So you have, in Bangalore, you have Manyata Tech Park is there, ITPL is there. All these are special economic zones. But they are within 10 hectares because it is IT, ITES up to 10 hectares, right? So what are the features? What are the features of special economic zones? One, it is duty-free enclave. That is, there is no taxation in that place, right? Duty-free. Enclave means within the broader territory, one small territory, enclave. Then, no import license. If you want to import the products and for manufacturing, raw materials, you don't require any license. So basically what it means, there is very less government intervention. Government is not going to intervene. That is the point. Next you have positive net foreign exchange. Means what? These will be export oriented. So since they are exporting more and importing less, there will be foreign exchange will be positive. That is, they are importing, let's say 50 crore worth of goods. They will export 500 crore worth of goods. So foreign exchange will be in the form of dollars. It will be positive, right? 450 crore positive. That is the benefit of special economic zone. Then you have subcontracting. That is, in this there will be government will contract the industries. Government will give contract to the industries in order to start the industries. That is, subcontracting is there. Then no routine custom examination. Custom means import-export duty. So they are not going to come and harass the people because these are, whatever I said, this is special territory. So it is treated like a foreign territory. When it is foreign territory, it comes under jurisdiction of customs. So this customs authority, they will not come and harass. That is one thing. There will be tax benefits. For example, under a startup, there is 3-year tax holiday for startups, right? Similarly, in some SEZ, there is up to 10-year tax holiday is provided, right? Apart from that, you have, this is private investment driven. In SEZ, there is no government investment. Government is just going to give infrastructure. Everything else will be private investment. So what does the state government give? State government gives the infrastructure like electricity, roads, yes, railways, water, sewage, and mobile connectivity, communication, they will give. Next, single window approval. When it comes to SEZ, this body is important. There is a board of approval. So this is a central committee. What happens? The state government will ask the central government, this board of approval. So board of approval will give approval for SEZ. So single window approval. What do you mean by single window? Means all the clearances, all licenses, all plans, everything will be provided with one person. You need not go to many government offices. That is single window approval. Next you have, when it comes to SEZ, you should note this committee. The committee name is Baba Kalyani Committee 2018, speaks about the SEZ. Baba Kalyani Committee. So what does this committee recommend? It says that the SEZ policy should be World Trade Organization compatible. So there is World Trade Organization rules are there. So we should make our own SEZ has to be, our own SEZ has to be compatible, or we should follow the rules of the World Trade Organization. What are the rules of the World Trade Organization? World Trade Organization says, don't start any SEZ. World Trade Organization is against Special Economic Zone. Why? Because these SEZs, we are providing, see this is a country, domestic trade, this area outside SEZ is called domestic tariff area. Domestic means local, tariff means taxation area. This is domestic taxation area, this is SEZ area. So, World Trade Organization said, in this SEZ, you are providing lot of benefits, you are having lot of tax concessions, and you are giving lot of benefits for exports. Because of this, the import, foreign countries importing into your country will reduce. Because your own people will buy from this SEZ rather than foreign imports. Because there is lot of benefits, less price is competitive here itself. That is why the World Trade Organization says close down all the SEZ. It is against the MFN principle, most favored nation principle. Also, the principle World Trade Organization, I told you there are three principles. One is MFN, second is national treatment, third is export subsidy. These are the three principles. So, under these three principles, SEZ does not follow these three principles, you have to close down. So, we are providing tax and export subsidies, that is why the World Trade Organization is angry. Then you have NIMZ, very important, National Investment and Manufacturing Zones. So, where is this NIMZ in Karnataka? So, you have one in Tumkur, we have one in Kolar, you have one in Bidar, one more in Gulbarga. There are 4 NIMZ in Karnataka. Note down, one is Tumkur, Kolar, Bidar and Gulbarga, right? So, this policy was started in 2011. 2011, it focuses on exclusively on manufacturing. There is no, see, SEZ focuses on services and manufacturing. This only on services, the manufacturing. So, what is the goal of NIMZ? So, today we have secondary sector, which includes real estate, manufacturing, everything. It contributes how much to the GDP? Approximately 27%. So, this NIMZ says, just manufacturing itself should contribute 25 to the GDP, 25%. That is the goal of NIMZ. So, it aims to generate 100 million jobs in the NIMZ. Make the NIMZ as a job generating area. Then 14 NIMZ have been approved till now, out of which 4 are in Karnataka, right? So you have one in Medak, in Telangana, and one in Rangareddy, one in Prakasam. So there are, out of 14, 2 have started operation already. Karnataka, none of them have started operation, right? So what is the process of getting approval? So first, state will select the land. State will select the land and it is going to write to the central government. So central government, they will apply to the central government. Central government, after that, they will set up a special purpose vehicle. See, the special purpose vehicle can be set up for anything. It is just like an organization. So once they apply, they are going to set up a SPV which is going to monitor or provide infrastructure in the NIMZ, acquire land, provide electricity, everything will be taken care by this SPV. So who is the ownership? Ownership is with respect to state government. State government owns the NIMZ. Central government just gives the approval. Once they give the approval, final notification also be done by the central government. Next you have state will provide the infrastructure in the area. I told you what is infrastructure. NIMZ, just like SEZ, infrastructure is provided by the state. So this is a industrial township. What is the industrial township? You see the Kolar gold fields. So next to the gold fields, there will be houses of the people working in the gold fields. Then you take the example of this Hospet iron and steel industry. There will also be one township where people working in the iron plant will come and stay. And you have Kudremukha, there was iron extraction. There also there was one township where people used to reside. So this NIMZ will have industrial township. So what will be there? There will be schools, there will be shopping malls, there will be residential houses, right? There will be movie theaters, there will be hospitals, everything will be there. Then there is an exit policy. If some person wants to get out of the NIMZ, take the industry out of the NIMZ, there is an exit policy. And also they focus on worker rights. Worker rights are protected. See, in SEZ, there is not much importance to worker rights, but in NIMZ, worker rights is given importance, right? Next, these are actually greenfield. Greenfield means they will be started from scratch. There is no pre-existing infrastructure there, right? So, this NIMZ, what do? They address the infrastructure bottlenecks. What is the bottleneck? That is lacking of infrastructure. Once there is NIMZ, see, once there is a NIMZ, there will be proper roads, railways, transportation, right? Apart from that, there will be electricity, there will be water supply, sewage, digital connectivity, communication, logistics, storage, right? Everything will be there. So infrastructure bottlenecks will be of the industries is aimed to be solved by this NIMZ. Next, you have, it is a all-inclusive structure. I told you, includes everything, including the schools, hospitals, everything, right? So what is the minimum area to start a NIMZ? The minimum area is 5,000 hectares. Whereas here SEZ, I told you there is 1,000 hectare and 40 hectare also, 100 hectare also, 10 hectares also. But here NIMZ requires minimum 5,000 hectares. So here internal infrastructure. See, internal infrastructure, it is provided by the state government. Internal infrastructure. Also, state plus even private entities will pitch in. Private plus state government. External infrastructure, it is provided by central and state government. Why central and state government? Because there will be some ports. So ports, major ports are under, so in India there are two kinds of ports, major ports, minor ports. How many major ports are there? In India, 12 major ports are there. So if this is the, we'll discuss under the geography. So you have JNPT is there, you have Goa, Marma Goa is there, Mangalore port is there, Cochin port is there, Kandla port is there is one more port here, then you have Tuticorin, then you have Chennai port, then you have Vizag port, then Paradip port, then Hooghly port, one more port is there, Ennore port, and one more port here is there, JNPT, Mumbai port. So there are 12 ports, major ports, right? And many minor ports, 200 plus. So because of this, so external connectivity is given by central government and state government. Internal connectivity by private sector plus state government inside the special economic or NIMZ. So MSMEs under this, see, National Investment and Manufacturing Zone, see, MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, they are also manufacturing industry. So in this, there will be special provisions for MSME. Some area will be allocated for the MSME. That is a special provision. Next you have NIMZ and SEZ. What is the difference? One, this is large area, this is small area. Next, this focuses on manufacturing. This focuses on manufacturing plus services. This focuses on both export and local area, selling in the local domestic tariff area. SEZ focuses mostly on export. So the next is, here this will be mostly state government, this involves central government. Here only manufacturing is taken place. Here lot of sectors are there, SEZ. So all these are the, here labor laws are not stringent, here labor laws are stringent. All these are the differences between NIMZ and SEZ. Next you have industrial corridors. What is the industrial corridor? So there will be connectivity between two cities. For example, take the example of Bengaluru and Chennai. So there is a proposal to start a industrial corridor. Along this corridor, it will be along the highway itself. What will be there? There will be good roads, good railways, good infrastructure, bridges, everything, buildings, storage buildings, everything. Whatever the infrastructure in NIMZ and SEZ you saw, that will be there along the entire corridor between two cities, right? So, industrial, you have Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor is there. You have Mumbai-Bengaluru industrial corridor is there. Bengaluru-Chennai industrial corridor is there. Likewise, there are many industrial corridors in India. UP, there are many industrial corridors. So what is the benefit of the industrial corridor? It crowds in. So you have the famous industrial corridor is Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, very important. So the famous what is the benefit of the industrial corridor? See, if you have a proper corridor between two cities and there is lot of good infrastructure, schooling, everything is good. What will happen? Private sector will invest here. Private sector will invest along the area. And also when you have a corridor, suppose there is land here, agricultural land, all the value of this agricultural land will go up, right? Because there is good infrastructure. All these are the benefits. So that is the point of providing absolute infrastructure. So it crowds in private investment. When everything is good, obviously private sector will go and invest there. So this acts as a crowd in investment. So you have Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. This is along the western dedicated freight corridor. What is dedicated freight corridor? It is very important. So in India, right now we have western dedicated freight corridor and eastern dedicated freight corridor. So see, you have railways. I have explained, I remember I have explained in the earlier class. You have railways on which passenger train travels. Passenger train, also goods train travel. So under dedicated freight corridor, there will be railway. On this railway, only goods train will travel. This is the concept of dedicated freight corridor. So why dedicated freight corridor? Because see, when you have a common link, common railway, if a passenger train will come, they are going to stop the goods train and give the way for passenger train. And also the cost is very high. Why? There is cross subsidization. Because passenger travel, there is very less price. Because it's a polity, people will protest. On goods, there will be high cost. Cross subsidization is there. And efficiency is less, there is no timeliness, all these things. So there is this concept of, if you, in India, if you want to transport goods on the waterways. If you want to transport on waterways, the price is 0.3 paise per kilometer to 0.5 paise per kg per kilometer. But if you want to transport a good from on roadways, on railways, it is 1 rupee per kilometer. But if you want to transport by road, it is 1.5 rupees. So this is the cheapest, waterways, this is the second cheapest, railways. So that is why we have dedicated freight corridor, Western dedicated freight corridor. So it is from JNPT to Jawaharlal Nehru Port to, it goes up to this Dadri. Till Dadri it is there, right? So what is the benefit of this industrial corridor? There will be smart cities along the corridor. Delhi, Mumbai, if there is a corridor, entire corridor, there will be smart cities along the corridor. That is the first benefit. So it is a concept of geography plus digital plus economic planned urbanization. First there will be geography, land is there. From on that land, we will provide digital infrastructure. Then we will provide economic infrastructure. This is the point. So it includes all these three concepts, and it will also have smart cities plus it is planned urbanization. See, in India, urbanization is haphazard. We will build houses wherever we want. But under this, we are planning the urbanization properly. That is the concept. So along this Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, there are 24 investment nodes. Totally 24 investment nodes are there. There are 24 points where, or cities where investment will be more. Next, you have the concept of defense corridor. What is defense corridor? You have defense corridor in UP and Tamil Nadu. UP and Tamil Nadu, defense corridor. Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, only two defense corridors. So what do they focus upon? They focus on manufacturing the defense products. See, I told you India is the second largest importer of defense products. Who is the first largest importer? Saudi Arabia. India is the second largest importer of defense goods in the world. So we have to, under Make in India, have to produce more and more defense products. That is why we have defense production exchange, defense exchange. All these programs will be carried out, right? So it focuses on increasing the defense production, arms, tanks, bullets, guns, everything. Then it also focuses on providing connectivity. Connectivity means if a defense contingent, defense company or defense group, they want to travel between one city to another city. Under this defense corridor, there will be proper connectivity. Road will be there for them. So it focuses on these two things. Then you have industrial parks. Industrial parks. Industrial park means it focuses on industry. So all your ITPL, your in Bengaluru also your Manyata Tech Park, all these are your Pinya industry, all these are industrial parks. What is the concept? So under this, it is a self-contained island. Means in the city or in the nation, it will be an island where there will be exclusively industries. That is what self-contained island. There will be high quality infrastructure. You know what is infrastructure. And also who is focusing on building the industrial parks? It is the State Industrial Development Corporation. Industrial parks are built by State Industrial Development Corporation. This corporation is under the state government jurisdiction. So it includes industrial park might include EPZ, export processing zone, free trade zone, and also your EHTP, electron software technology park. What are the things under the industrial park? One is export processing zone, free trade zone, software technology park, and electronic and one more thing is electronic and hardware technology parks. Electronic and hardware technology park. You have software technology park in Bengaluru, also in Hyderabad you have, Cyberabad. So all these things are under the industrial parks. It is promoted by government. See, I told you SEZ, it is exclusively private. Government is going to provide the infrastructure, whereas industrial parks is promoted by government. Government gives the benefits. Government promotes it. So China is also building this industrial parks in India. Where? China is building industrial park in Gujarat. It's building industrial park in Gujarat, in the state of Gujarat. Next you have dedicated freight corridor. I already told you. So there are two dedicated freight corridor, very expected question in all the exams. One is Eastern Dedicated Corridor. It goes from Ludhiana in Punjab, up to Dankuni in Western Bengal. Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor, Ludhiana in Punjab to Dankuni in West Bengal. Next, Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, I already told you, JNPT to Dadri in Uttar Pradesh. JNPT in Mumbai, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. These are the two dedicated freight corridors. See, who manages, who is constructing this dedicated freight corridor? Andre, there is Dedicated Freight Corridor Industry Limited, Infrastructure Limited, Dedicated Freight Corridor of India Limited. It is India Limited. DFCIL. It is a public sector undertaking. It is owned by the government. So there is no, actually private participation is not there. So for this Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, Japanese company JICA has invested in the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. So it is a DFSCIL which is constructing these corridors. It is a PSU, also a special purpose vehicle. What is the purpose of this DFCIL? To construct the Dedicated Freight Corridor, right? And it is registered under Companies Act. This DFCIL company is registered under Companies Act, not very important. Next you have important concept of Bharat Mala Pariyojana. What is Bharat Mala Pariyojana? So, under this Bharat Mala Pariyojana, we aim to connect the whole India. What is the blueprint? It goes from west into the Thar Desert and Himalayas, comes to this Terai region, UP, Bihar. So it is a road network, and goes to northeast, connects everything. So this is the Bharat Mala Pariyojana, to connect entire India. That is the blueprint of this Bharat Mala Pariyojana. What the road will include, it is going to include. It has a blueprint for entire India, right? So it aims to connect remote areas, that is tribal areas, villages, even left-wing Naxalism affected areas also it aims to connect. So there is actually it aims to it is a 4-lane. It is a 4-lane network, right? 4-lane network. So it aims to connect what? 550 district headquarters. This Bharatmala Pariyojana aims to connect 550 districts headquarters. It is a 4-lane network. So before this, what you had? You have golden quadrilateral. So the earlier road construction projects were what? There is National Highway Development Project is there. There is golden quadrilateral is there. Then you have east-west corridor is there. North-south corridor is there. Apart from that, you have Gram Sadak Yojana is there. All these are the road construction projects in India. So this is the very new project. So what does it aim? So presently in India, the amount of transport on national highways is just 40%. Presently, only 40% goods travel on national highways. So under this Bharatmala Pariyojana, it aims to increase it to 80%. 80% of the transport should take place on the national highway. National highway, that is the goal. So it subsumes various other schemes. What are the schemes? You have National Highway Development Project. All these projects which I have told, it will be subsumed, comes under this scheme. That is the newest scheme. So this enables other scheme, right? See, any road project, it is called as an enabler. Why? Because let's say there is a remote area, you provide road connection to this project. With road connection, there will be private industry going there. There will be electricity. There will be food transport. Everything will go to this. So you take any scheme, health scheme, Ayushman Bharat Yojana, you scheme Manrega Yojana, Gram Sadak Yojana, right? Or your Swachh Bharat Yojana, any your Digital India Mission, or even your Jan Dhan Yojana, all these things will be enabled by this scheme. When road is there, then only all these schemes can reach to the remotest places. So it is called as an enabler. Next you have NHDP. So this scheme is now not there. But this NHDP was started, there is a probability of asking, it was started in 1998. 1998. So it built 50,000 kilometer of national highways. 50,000 kilometer. Golden quadrilateral was also under this. Golden quadrilateral means what? Connects with cities. It connects Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, sorry, it is Kolkata now, and Madras or Chennai. I am remembering the old names. So these four things are connected under the golden quadrilateral. So east, north, south, east, west, it connects Gujarat to Nagaland or Arunachal Pradesh, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, that is east, west. So it was under NHDP. Now this is all about the road connectivity. Then you have port connectivity, Sagarmala project. This is with respect to port development, port-led development. See, what is the problem now with respect to ports? One is, the problem is, here is the problems. So one is, there is no infrastructure, right? So there is no evacuation. If a ship comes here, how to deload, unload the project? There is no good evacuation. There is no multimodal. So only lorries will go and take the goods out. There is no railway and other things. There is no hinterland connectivity. What is a hinterland? Suppose this is a port. Whatever the area it is going to serve is called a hinterland. For example, you have Mangalore port. Mangalore port will serve even Bangalore. The oil is coming from Mangalore to Bangalore. So Bangalore is a hinterland of Mangalore port. Hinterland. Whatever the area the port serve is called a hinterland. So there is no hinterland development, right? And also there is corruption in the port development boards, and there is no dredging. What is dredging? See, in the ports, what happens? The silt, mannu, it will go and settle in the bottom, because of which the ships cannot come and go easily. So there should be frequent dredging done. That is not done. That is also a problem. Dredging is not done, and there is no high weight ships which is being coming to the ports, right? There is no high weights of the ships. So all these things are the problems, and also there is division of authority. Who is going to control the ports? Whether it is the state government or the central government. That division of authority is also a problem. All these are the problems with respect to the ports in India. So all these problems are aimed to be solved under Sagarmala project. So it is a dual, see, till now we have dual structure. So I told you 12 major ports are there. Those major ports are controlled by the central government. 200 plus minor ports are there. So it is actually, minor port is a wrong misnomer. It's a misnomer. It is called as non-major port. Non-major port comes under the jurisdiction of state governments, right? So what does this Sagarmala says? Modernize the ports, provide good connectivity, rail connectivity, road connectivity, airport, every sort of connectivity, digital connectivity, modernize the ports. Then port-led economic development. If there is a port, this area should be economically prosperous. Means there should be proper infrastructure, there should be proper economic industry should be there, there should be investment should be there. So if a port is there, that should lead to development around the area. There should be good hospitals, good colleges, schools, everything should be there. That is the port-led development. So why, what does this project aim about? Bharat Sagarmala, it aims to harness 7,500 kilometer of coastline. India has how much kilometer of coastline, including Andaman and Nicobar, and this thing we have 7,500 kilometer of coastline that has to be harnessed. Next you have that is just the coastline, that is this coastline which comes like this. Inland, within the India there are 14,500 inland waterways, kilometer of inland waterways, that also aimed at, we aim to be utilized under the Sagarmala. Next you have the develop coastal economic region. See, this I told you, under port-led development, you develop a economic region. See, this is a port, this is Mangalore port. Around this area, you develop a economic region. You provide good infrastructure. You provide incentives for all the companies to come and settle here. Even software company, manufacturing company, food processing company. So there should be good economic region. That is coastal economic. Even banking sector should go there. Government should also have good presence. That is the developed coastal economic region. So under this it aims to set up 10 under Sagarmala. It aims to set up 10 coastal economic regions. 10 coastal economic regions, and also there should be, to set up the coastal economic region, there should be a special purpose vehicle, and also there should be proper plan to set up a coastal economic region. Who is going to give this plan? Either it is the central government, Ministry of Shipping, or state government, or both together. They are going to give a plan to develop a coastal economic region. Next you have Sagar. So who is going to build this? See, I told you, the dedicated freight corridor is built by dedicated DFCIL. Similarly, Sagarmala project is built by Sagarmala Development Company. This is the company. So it was set up in 2016. Sagarmala Development Company set up in 2016. So there is a plan. This company is going to build the project, Sagarmala project, and there is a plan to build the Sagarmala. Or see, you should understand what is Sagarmala. Means Sagarmala means it is a garland. So if this is the coastline of India, if this is the coastline of India, there will be ports, right? ports like this. So there should be garland of these ports. Garland. That is the Sagarmala. So for that there is a Sagarmala National Perspective Plan. There is a proper plan according to which this Sagarmala has to be constructed. Then it is under Ministry of Shipping. It comes under Ministry of Shipping, Sagarmala, right? So under this Sagarmala there is an issue. What is the issue? I told you central state government owns the non-major ports. But under Sagarmala, even in the minor ports, that is non-major ports, Ministry of Shipping is going to give recommendation. Give the recommendations. So that is, there is a conflict. Right? This is all about the Sagarmala project. Next you have India's inland waterways. Inland waterways. What does the waterways consist of? They rivers, canals, even your Kerala backwaters. All these things are the waterways. So we have, earlier we had 5 waterways. So now we have added 106. Totally there is 111 waterways in India. So it consists of 0.1% of inland traffic, which is very, very less. See, I'll give you a funny example. See, here is Mumbai port. Okay, it's not sufficient. Let me draw somewhere. So here is Mumbai port. Let's say Delhi is here. And here is London. Right? See, this is seaway, sea connectivity. This is road or railway connectivity. Yes. So, the cost of sending a good from Mumbai to London via ship is cheaper than sending the goods from Mumbai to Delhi. So, transport via the ship or the waterway is very, very cheaper. I told you it is 0.3 paise to 0.5 paise per kilometer. Here it is, railway it is 1 rupee, roadway it is 1.5 rupee. Right? So this is the concept. So even then we are utilizing just 0.1% of inland traffic. Inland traffic. That is traffic within the India. Transport 0.1% is under shipping, inland shipping. Whereas in USA, it is up to 14 to 15% of transport is under inland waterway. You have this Great Lakes. What are the Great Lakes? In USA, very important. You have Lake Superior, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Huron, and Mississippi, Lake Mississippi. So these are the 5 lakes, but I have just written the names, even the order which comes left, which comes right. Even the order, this is not the right order. So you should know the order, which comes first, which is towards the west, which is towards the east, what is the order. So there is good inland transport. So in USA it is up to 14 to 15% inland transport is via shipping. Right? Next I told you 50 paisa per kilometer. So we have an act. This act is important to promote the inland waterway. Inland Waterways and National Waterways Act 2016. Inland Waterway and National Waterway Act 2016. So it gives 106 plus 5 as national waterways. Totally 111 national waterways. See, earlier there were only 5. I told you, only 5. What is the 5? One is Sadhya Dubri on Ganga. National waterway 1 is Sadhya Dubri on Ganga. Next you have, I think this is on Brahmaputra. I forgot the name. So second one is, this is on Brahmaputra. This is 2. Brahmaputra. Right? So first waterway is on Ganga, second waterway is on Brahmaputra, Sadhya Dubri thing. Then you have National Waterway 3, Kollam Kottapuram, West Coast Canal, Kerala. National Waterway 4, you have in the Pondicherry region, right? Pondicherry to Chennai. Then you have National Waterway 5, Brahmani-Baitarni, that is East Coast Canal. This is West Coast. So these are the 5 waterways. 5 waterways names are very, very important. So it is managed by, there is an authority called Inland Waterway Authority of India, which manages the inland waterway. So even though this is a central act, who is going to manage the inland waterways? The ports, the ships, all these things will be owned by the state government. See, this marine thing or shipping comes under the state government. All the land which is provided for the inland waterway, everything is owned by the state government. This difference is very, very important. They are going to confuse you in the exams, right? Next you have this act, Allahabad Haldia. I forgot the name. The first national waterway is Allahabad Haldia. Allahabad Haldia, 1600 kilometer. Second waterway is 900 kilometer, National Waterway 2, Sadia Dubri. Third waterway is West Coast Canal, Kollam Kottapuram, National Waterway 3. The National Waterway 4, 1000 kilometers, it is Kakinada Puducherry. The National Waterway 5 is East Coast, Brahmani and Mahanadi, between Brahmani and Mahanadi, 600 kilometers, right? So, it is, I told you, 0.1% of the local transportation takes place on inland waterway, but it transports how much goods? 3.5% of the trade takes place on the inland waterways. So I told you this example of Mumbai to London and Mumbai to Delhi, right? Okay. So what is the benefits of inland waterway? See, if there is inland waterway, what happens? Is it beneficial for the industry? Yes, because they can transport the goods at very low price. Industrial development will happen, and since goods are transported, economic growth will happen, because more and more goods are transported at a cheaper cost. Then it will provide lot of employment. The person who is going to unload the ship is going to load the ship, and person who is going to manage the harbor. All these lead to economic growth, and it leads to sustainable development, isn't it? Because if there is a port, what they will do? They are going to clean the port. They are going to look to it that river is clean, or else what happen? They will spoil the river. Because the river is useful for transporting, people will take care of the river, sustainable development, and there are a lot of other benefits. It might lead to increased tourism, right? So we are actually, Indians are used to travel by road and rail. So we will be excited to travel by ship within India. Suppose we want to travel from West Bengal to Delhi by ship or some boat, isn't it? Aren't we excited? Yes, right? All these things are the benefits of the inland waterways, right? Next you have, there is a program called Jal Marg Vikas Program. Jal Marg Vikas Program, under which first port is inaugurated, first stretch is inaugurated. Jal Marg Vikas, this is given by the central government. It focuses on Varanasi to Haldia. Haldia in West Bengal, Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, right? So it is a stretch of 1620 kilometers, right? So there is a depth. So heavy ships can go into it up to 2000 ton. 1500 to 2000 ton weightage ships can travel in this, because there is 3 meter of depth. That is, up to 3 meter depth is there. So the ship won't get stuck. So that is one thing. Then it is managed. Who is the authority? Which is the authority managing Jal Marg Vikas? It is Inland Waterway Authority of India, IWAI, Inland Waterway Authority of India. Then it focuses on building multimodal transport. What is multimodal? Modal means what? One mode is, if railway is considered as one transport, it is one mode. Multi-mode means railway, roadway, airport, waterway, everything mixed, even metro, right? So that is multimodal terminal will be there. That is, you send the goods from West Bengal to. So this first multimodal terminal was inaugurated in Varanasi by Prime Minister. Last year, 2020. Varanasi inaugurated the multimodal. What happens? The goods will go from West Bengal to Varanasi. Varanasi, from the ship they are going to unload. Directly from the ship there will be a train waiting. So they are going to put it in the train and send. That is multimodal. Then there is intermodal terminals. Intermodal terminals means what? Transporting from ship to train, train to lorry, lorry to smaller auto, all these things, right? So there will be intermodal terminals, and there is also RoRo, roll on, roll off. What is RoRo? So last year there was an example of sending RoRo from Karnataka to Uttar Pradesh. What is RoRo? It is, see, there will be goods train like this. These are individual bogies. So what happens? One lorry will go and sit on this bogie. Another lorry here, another lorry here, another lorry here. So instead of transporting the goods, we will transport the lorries filled with the goods. So those lorries, what will happen? They will roll onto the train, and once they reach the destination, they will roll off. They are going to get down from the train and go to the destination. This is roll on, roll off. That is there under Jalmarg. Then there is a navigational lock at Farakka. Farakka navigational lock. What is Farakka barrage is there? Where is it? On which river? So at Hooghly, right? Farakka barrage is there in West Bengal, right? So the navigational lock means, see, generally the water, even on Suez Canal, there is a navigational lock. Generally the water level will be like this. But under canals, what will happen? The water level won't be this much, this height. There won't be proper water level. So if there is no proper water level, ship will sink. So what they will do? They will have navigational lock. Once the ship enters into this junction, they are going to lock these two and increase the water here, so that the ship will transfer from year to year. Once the ship goes into this, they are going to reduce the water here. There will be another lock. Here they are going to increase the water. This is navigational lock is there under Farakka. Then dredging. Dredging means removing the silt is also taken care under Jalmarg Vikas, removing the silt. Then also repair of the ships. Ships repair, vessel repair, everything, container repair will also be taken care under the Jalmarg Vikas. And also these ships will have their own GPS, which are going to transport under Jalmarg Vikas. They will have own GPS. That GPS is a special kind of GPS called as differential GPS. There will be a differential GPS. Then they will have technology called river information system. Just like geographical information system, GIS. What is GIS? See, there will be under GIS, see, suppose you go to a place where there is no person. You want to know about the place. What will happen? There will be one RFID. RFID, you scan that RFID, immediately you will get the information about the entire place. So earlier what used to happen? They are going to put boards that this place is at this much elevation. This place belongs to this state. From this place you can see the Arabian Sea. All this information. So now it is under geographical information system. So as soon as you go to the place, just open your maps, you will get the information. You click on the GIS. Similarly, they aim to start river information system. You are going on a river. You are at a place. If you open, there will be, at that place, there will be river information system. You put that, so you will get all the information. where I am, what are the tributaries, what is the latitude and longitude, what is the river flow, what are the animals here, all these things, what are the fishes here, all this information is there. Then it also focuses on conservation of flora and fauna, aquatic flora and fauna, fishes and everything. Then this is Jalmarg Vikas is sponsored by World Bank. Jalmarg Vikas, okay. World Bank has sponsored this program. Next you have land pooling and land acquisition. What is the difference? See, land acquisition means the entire land will be, so Jalmarg Vikas is done, we are focusing on land now. So this is a concept on land reforms. So what is land acquisition and land pooling? Under land acquisition, whatever the land is there, that entire land is taken over by the government by paying compensation, right? So government is the owner of the land. Whereas under land pooling, what happens? The land will be taken from the, land will not be bought. Suppose these are the lands. Land will not be bought by the government. Rather, they are going to take the land, develop the land and give back 60%. They are not going to pay initially. So it might be voluntary or involuntary. Involuntary means government is going to forcefully pool the land of the farmers, take it and develop it and give 60% of the land back to farmers. What is the benefit of this? Because there is development of infrastructure. In that land they will develop all the infrastructure. Everything, school, hospitals, everything will be built. So the value of the land will increase. Earlier, what 100% of land was giving, that value is now given by just by 60%. Rather, more value is being given. So the land value will increase under the land pooling, right? So the government takes small parcels from the, see why land pooling is required? Because land acquisition is actually very difficult. There will be lot of court cases, right? And government requires continuous stretch of land. So there will be litigation property will be there. All these are the drawbacks of land acquisition. So that is why the government is focusing on land pooling, where land pooling is being done to build the Andhra Pradesh capital, Amravati. Amravati is built under land pooling. So involuntary, government forcefully takes the land. Voluntary means farmers will themselves give the land to the government. Why would farmer give themselves to the government? Because the returned land will have more value. So in that respect, they are going to give the land to the government. So government will take small parcels, then it is going to develop the land and then return 60%. So this 60% of the land can be in the same area or 5 kilometers from the area. Suppose they are going, government is going to acquire, take the land in Chandra layout, right? So what in Bengaluru? So they are going to develop this land and give 60% back. That 60% may not be here itself. 5 kilometers from this place, right? Maybe Magdi Road or something like that. So that is the concept of land pooling, right? Within 5 kilometers they can give. So what is the benefit? Additional floor space index. Additional floor space, that is the value of the land will increase. So you have floor space index means what? There is a floor which has a space. What is the value of that floor? So when there is infrastructure, the floor space index will increase. That is the concept. So AP in Amravati, it is being done by AP Capital Region Development Authority. This authority is conducting the land pooling. So even it is being done. Delhi 200 villages are pooled to Delhi under Delhi Master Plan 2021. 200 villages are being pooled. Next, you have yesterday's newspaper. The Prime Minister has spoken about National Land Monetization Corporation. Yesterday newspaper, recent news. So cabinet has given approval for National Land Monetization Corporation. What is this Land Monetization Corporation? So you have public sector undertakings. You have in Bengaluru only, you have HAL, HMT, BEL, BHEL, all these. So they have lot of land with them. Those land will be monetized. Means a price will be fixed for those land and sold. That is the National Land Monetization Corporation. Yesterday got cabinet approval. Then you have Logistic Performance Index. First, what is logistic? See, all your Flipkart, E-Cart and Zomato, Swiggy, all these are logistic. Transporting goods from one to the doorstep, from the industry, from the warehouse. So what is the index? So this index is published by World Bank. Logistic Performance Index is published by World Bank and the index rank of India is 35. Very important. So what does it talk about? It talks about the quality of logistics. How the transport is done. Is it efficient? Is there any spillage? Is there any damage to the product? Or how quickly the transportation takes place? That is taken. Then also they track the consignment. If you order on Flipkart, you can track the consignment. Where has the product reached? So that will also be taken care under this LPI, and also whether the product reaches in proper timeline. That is also taken care under LPI. So it also focuses on ease of movement. How easily can you transport the goods from one place to another? Will there be traffic congestion? Will there be government regulations? All these things will be taken care under the Logistic Performance Index. Then World Bank publishes this report, Logistic Performance Index report, once in 2 years. Once in 2 years. So 2021 report, India's rank was 35. Around the world, we are actually performing good in logistics. So World Bank ease of doing business, our rank is, World Bank ease of doing business, our rank is 63. World Bank Logistic Performance Index, our rank is 35. Then you have Leads Index. This is the newest index, Leads Index. Means logistic ease across different states. Means you can transport the goods from within one state, intra-state. How easy it is to transport from one state to another. That is given by Logistic Ease Across Different States Index. So this Leads Index is given by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Ministry of Commerce and Industry given this in 2019. So it is based on 9 parameters. How the cost of logistics, quality of logistics, timeliness and grievance redressal, and also the mode of logistics. All these things are taken care under these 9 parameters, right? This is with respect to logistics. Then you have the new chapter, poverty, the concept of poverty in India. What is poverty? So poverty means deprivation of basic human needs. Deprivation of basic human need. What is the basic human needs? Food, shelter, clothing. If that is there, that is not there, we are the population is considered poor. Not only that, even opportunities, if the opportunities are not there, that is health opportunity, education opportunity, skilling opportunity, job opportunity, then also we are considered to be, the population is considered to be poor. What are the reasons for poverty in India? See, India, poverty today, 25% of Indians are poor. That is, out of 4 person, 1 person is poor in India. So India has the highest number of poor population in the world. India has the highest number of poor. So what are the reasons? One is colonial reasons. British destroyed us. That is the first reason. Then there is no, then there is this corruption. Then there is low education. Then there is no sufficient land among all the population. then there is no skill, right? And growth is unequal. Only rich are benefiting from the growth, right? And also, what are the other reasons? Health reasons. Because of COVID, many people became poor. All these are the reasons for poverty in India. What are the types of poverty? One is human poverty. Human poverty means if a person is not educated, if his health is less, and also he doesn't have basic necessities, it is called human poverty. Then you have income poverty. Income poverty, when there is no sufficient income in order to manage yourself, that is income poverty. Next you have extreme poverty. 5 types of poverty. Extreme poverty, if your income is less than $1.9 per day, that is extreme poverty. Then you have relative poverty. Relative poverty speaks of well-being. How good a life am I having compared to a rich person? Comparative, that is comparative is relative poverty. How person is Kerala is well enough compared to person in Bihar, that is relative poverty. Absolute poverty means, does he have the basic necessities or does he have the opportunities? Absolute necessities like food, shelter, clothing, health, education. If he doesn't have it, that is absolute poverty. So these are the 5 types of poverty in India, across the world. Next you have the definition of poverty line. So poverty line as defined by the World Bank, it says if the income is below $1.9 per day per person, and because of which he is not able to meet the basic necessities of food, shelter and clothing, and there is very less opportunity of health, education and employment. That person, that line below that level, the persons who are falling below that level are called poor according to the World Bank. That is the line actually stands at $1.9, right? So it is actually a per capita money requirement. That is how much a person has money per capita, right? The per capita money requirement in order to maintain ourselves, in order to give ourselves good health, food, shelter, clothing, health, education, all these things. If that is not there, then we are considered to be below poverty line, right? So in India earlier, actually the poverty line was measured in calories. So calories was converted into money value. So if in the rural areas, if someone consumed 2,400 calories per day, and urban area if someone consumed 2,100 calories per day, this were considered as poverty line in the 1970s as per Planning Commission. 2,400 in rural, 2,100 in urban area, right? So later on this was considered as the absolute poverty line, below which if somebody is there, then they are considered poor. Then came 2005 Planning Commission appoints Kelker Committee, which gives the report in 2010. So this focuses on a basket of goods. Basket of goods, according to which the poverty line was fixed at 27 rupees for rural area and 33 rupees for urban area in India, right? But later this committee, basket of goods, so this committee report was found unsatisfactory. So then comes Rangarajan Committee. So this committee fixes the poverty rate at rural area 33 rupees, urban area 47 rupees per day. Rural area 33, urban 47 rupees per day, fixed by the Rangarajan Committee in 2014. So this is the poverty line we are following now, Rangarajan Committee report. So what is the head count ratio? Under poverty there is a concept called head count ratio. What is it? How many head count, counting the heads who are poor. How many people are poor in India. That is the head count ratio. Head count ratio with respect to poverty only. It was asked in one of the prelims, right? Incidence of poverty. Incidence means on how many people poverty is incident. That is counted by this. Then there is a poverty gap. This poverty gap actually is a not only the head count plus intensity. That is, one is how many people are poor, how poor are they. See what this poverty gap. Let's say poverty line is here, 37 or 35 rupees, right? So let's say 100 people are below this line, 100 people, and their level is here and their income is 12 rupees. So this poverty head count ratio just focuses on 100 people, whereas poverty gap, it not only focuses on 100 people but also how poor their poverty, how far are they from the poverty line, how far is the gap. 12 rupee, the gap is 12, 24, 34, 23 rupees, right? 23 rupees, right? So that is the gap. How many people are poor? How poor are they? That is the poverty gap. It focuses on the intensity of poverty. How poor? How many are poor? That is what is focused by poverty gap. It focuses on incidence plus depth. I told you, incidence plus depth. So this poverty gap is also called as Foster-Greer-Thorbach index, FTH index or FGT index. So Foster-Greer-Thorbach index speaks about the poverty gap in India or poverty gap world across, FGT index. Then you have the misery index. So this misery index is given by Robert Burrow. Robert Burrow, what is this misery index speak about? So it speaks about stagflation. So what is stagflation? I have discussed under the concept of inflation. If there is inflation, see what happens when inflation is there, there should be good employment should be there because prices are high. When the prices are high, before inflation is, when does it occur? When the economy overeats. Economy overeats. When economy overeats, there should be lot of production. Production should be there. When production should be there, there should be good employment. But there is a condition when unemployment is also high, inflation is also high. That is stagflation. That is measured by misery index. Unemployment rate plus inflation rate. If both are there, if the prices are also high and to buy the goods there is no employment, it is called as misery index. Next you have World Bank poverty definition. World Bank defines the poverty at $1.9. If your income per person per day income is below 1.9%. So now there is a new standard developed by the World Bank. Apart from this, along with this, there is a new standard. What is the new standard? For lower middle income countries. Lower middle income countries, who are they? Like India. For us, the poverty line is 3.20. This is for poor countries, least developed countries, Somalia, all those countries. So for lower middle income countries, India and all, the poverty line is $3.20. For upper middle countries, the rate is $5.50, which is the upper middle. Russia, China, all these are upper middle. Saudi Arabia. So high income countries, you have high income countries, USA. For them, the poverty line is per day less than $21.7. This is the difference. This is the difference, different income levels, right? So next we have Planning Commission and poverty in India. So we will discuss this tomorrow. So hope the class was useful. If you have any doubts, please put it in the comment section, all your doubts. We will try to address all the doubts and try to connect us on our Telegram channel, and take care of your health. Namaste. Jai Hind.